This is about the fifth or sixth attempt to doing this video. Um, wasn't really sure whether to do it or not, but I think if I'm going to be an ambassador or someone that promotes the importance of mental health in the strength community and the importance of talking about how you feel and also about neurodiversity, then I'd like to unpack how things went on Saturday, for my own peace of mind, but also just to share and so other people can who may be experiencing similar things, um, with something to relate to. So yeah, the last 2 or 3 weeks haven't been great away from the gym, and as always, that has an impact in the gym. As much as I use the gym as a place to take my mind off other stuff, it's not always possible. I won't go into detail about what the stuff is, but yeah, things have not been great. So leading up to Bristol's Strongest Man on Saturday, training was mainly going okay. I was coming off the back of doing pretty well at Rhino's Winter Warrior in January, where I was joint fifth and was, I think, third going to the final event. So I was hoping to build on that. Like fourth, fifth, sixth is about where I've been of late. So I was hoping to sort of kick on podium wise. But yeah, the only thing that was really not going 100% in training was deadlifts, and that I know is mental. If ever I'm not feeling 100%, the first thing to go will be my deadlift, because it's the thing I probably find most vulnerable doing, and the thing that needs the most focused headspace. I can pick up weights and run with them all day long, but I can only deadlift if I'm really in like the right mindset. Um, I'm going to have to split this over a couple of videos. I'm not sure I'm going to get this in the 3 minutes real limit. Yeah, so the deadlift was the one thing I was a little bit concerned about going into Saturday. In training, I've been programmed like 5 or 6 at 200. I've been hitting 3 and then just feeling it as heavy and putting it down. Watching videos back, there was no real problem with my lifts. I say it's mental. Um, I think when I'm feeling low or feeling self-conscious or lacking in self-worth, then deadlifts is always the thing that just suddenly becomes much, much harder. I know I missed some reps the other day, and the way my brain works, the first thing I thought when I put the weight down, I had John Paul Sigmarsson's voice in my head going, there's no reason to be alive if you can't deadlift, which is a great motivator unless you're missing reps. And then it doesn't help if your head's not in a great place. So I've tried to have kind of a laser focus on this comp, in all sorts of ways, but the trouble is, what that's meant is at home I've been a bit absent, sort of mentally not here. I've not been the best father over the past few weeks during prep. There's definitely times that I could have been there more for my daughter, but instead I was more concerned about making sure I had my training done, making sure I went to bed on time and stuff. So I went into Saturday feeling guilty about that, which didn't put me in the best sort of competition mindset. Then, so I travelled up to Bristol at lunchtime on Friday and then worked out of an apartment there in the afternoon. That sounds like I do OnlyFans. No, I did my day job from an apartment, and then stayed the night and then went to the comp in the morning, which usually gives me a bit of detachment from my everyday life and better sleep. Got up in the morning, felt pretty good. Got a voicemail as I was leaving the apartment from a friend of mine, letting me know that he had cancer, which is pretty devastating. So I was carrying that around when I got to the comp. I just about managed to switch on, I think, for the first event, which was the overhead medley. I kind of had my eye on someone I knew had podiumed at the last comp I did, so I thought I'd use him as a pacemaker or like a benchmark. So he did, I think, the overhead medley in just under 30 seconds. I think the 30-second was announced just as he put the dumbbell in the air, monster dumbbell in the air. So I tried to emulate that. I thought if I can get in under 30 seconds, then I'm going to be top 2 or 3. Was quick on the log, on the axle. That went pretty much to plan. And then I think rushing, and it being outside and it being downhill and not having warmed up on dumbbell, I missed it on the first attempt. The third attempt was close. It was there, but I just couldn't stabilize, which was annoying. And then I had 10 seconds left, and I'd want a fourth and final attempt, but it was not realistically going to go. So I was sixth in that event, which I was disappointed about. I mean, it was in the top half, which was kind of the minimum I would always set myself as a goal. Go stay in the top half for all the events, and you'll stay in the top half for the whole comp. But yeah, it already, I could feel the potential to kind of improve on fifth or fourth, kind of slipping away from not hitting that. But there were still 4 events left, and there was still time to make points up. So the second event was the yoke into farmers, which moving event, so usually good for me. At Herefords, I was second in the farmers and fourth in the yoke. And I think I was fifth or sixth in the yoke at Rhinos. So I moved quite well for a big lad. So that was good. I was looking forward to this one. Originally, it was supposed to be 10 meters up with the yoke, 10 meters back with the frame. Sorry, it's not in the farmers, it was a frame. But it got changed on the day to yoke down, run back, farmers down, which I thought actually might help me, because my foot speed without carrying anything might have helped me pick up some points against some of the other bigger guys. The rules here were a little bit confusing. So it's, with ADHD, it's hard to follow verbal instructions. It's also really difficult to cope with change. In most of my training, despite the fact I know that you should hold back and not hit comp weights, I tend to do comp weights and almost exactly as they would be in the comp, and I tend to always go to the events days because I need to know I've done something to then know I can do it. So I'm not, although I have PB'd at a couple of comps, I don't tend to do that very often because I need to know I can do something first. So it took me a while to get my head into it to know that it was yoke down. You had to clear the whole line. You'd then get a verbal signal to say that you'd passed the line, and it was a whole yoke over. That was worrying me a bit because I wouldn't be able to see. I could see if I break the line, but I wouldn't be able to see if I completely cleared it. Then run back, pick up the frame, and head back down. We only had to break the line. I was slightly concerned that the frame would then be in front of the yoke. With my track record of falls, I was concerned about ploughing into the yoke, also concerned about how to maintain pace but still stop in time. Did a decent time, 18.4 seconds, I believe, but 2 seconds off fourth place, which not too bad. But yeah, I completely forgot there was a rule: don't drop the frame. And it was after the line, so it's a bit odd to me as decisions go, because I'd finished the event, I'd crossed the line, I'd done what was asked of me, and then the ref, basically to give you the signal that you crossed the line, basically shouted down. So I heard the word down and I dropped. I don't know if my brain just went, oh, down, and did exactly what I was told, or if it was part of me really consciously thinking, don't keep going because you're going to plow into the yoke. Make sure you finish and you stop. So I thought I'd done okay. Time-wise, I was a bit frustrated. I thought it could have been a couple of seconds quicker. Walked back up. I think it was Ryan England who said, oh, well done, mate, but I think you've got a 5-second penalty. And I was like, a what? Checked in with the scorer, and yeah, there was a 5-second penalty for dropping the frame, which I couldn't quite get my head around. I was really pissed off. Also, this is the first comp I've done that's on strength results. So I checked on there, and yes, the 5 seconds had been taken off, but didn't show as a penalty. It showed as my time. So that 5 seconds dropped me from 4th to 12th out of 12. Don't really like coming last in anything unless I've really fucked it up. Moving events, I tend to be top 4 or 5 or fall on my arse and last. I'd have actually been happier if I had fallen, to be honest, than having a decent run and just fucking up, forgetting the rules or whatever it was. Yeah, and like a lot of people were like, "Oh, don't worry about it, mate. Just focus on deadlift. Go back out there. You show 'em what you're made of." And there's a normal part of me that can do that. I'm pretty good at finding something deep down inside when things have gone wrong and fighting back. If I've done that in other comps um, multiple times, but I think when I'm a mental state like it was, and my ADHD kind of over heightened sense of injustice, I just couldn't stop going over and over it in my head. I also knew that deadlifts were next. Like I've been doing box breathing between um, events to bring myself back down, but that wasn't working. I could feel myself starting to hyperventilate, and yeah, it just wasn't in a good place. And the thought of going out to do deadlift, which had been going not very well in training, I just felt extraordinarily vulnerable, extraordinarily unhappy, and I just didn't feel like it was going to be fun. Um, I'm sure some people go, well, it's because you wanted to podium and then you couldn't podium and you were just pissed off because you didn't do very well, and that is kind of true. But like we've all got our different reasons for doing this stuff, and I watched a really good film about ADHD on Sunday actually, which talked about people pushing themselves to do lots of competitions or lots of competitive sport in order to kind of prove to the world they're not a failure. And that's kind of why I do strongman. So when I do fail, it fucking hurts. They say with ADHD that boredom is physical pain, and I get that, but I think failure is also like physical pain. Um, I'd rather drop a Atlas stone on my foot again than be docked 5 seconds and shown to the world that I'm last place. So I bailed basically. I just couldn't see myself there. I just needed to go. My wife was on her way to Bristol to meet me for the evening anyway, so I just thought, do you know what? I think seeing her singing in the pub with a pint would probably do me more good than trying somehow to claw back all the points I needed to not be shit. And I'm pretty certain that I would have injured myself. I think people have seen me at comps before where I get a bit reckless or um, lose my focus, and it's not pretty. I think I'd have been shitty with everyone around, but I know I would. The last few weeks, my temper and my patience has been pretty thin. So bringing that to an event wouldn't be fair on the other people competing, wouldn't be fair on the organisers or the refs or whatever, because I'm pretty sure I would have been a complete dick. Um, so I left. I still feel stupid. I felt stupid all afternoon. I felt stupid on Sunday. I still feel a bit stupid now and a bit embarrassed. But hey, you know, um, I do this sport to help my mental health, and it doesn't always succeed. One of the reasons I'm driven to do it, I say, is because of the ADHD. So, um, fuck it. If people think I'm a pussy, if people think I'm a loser, people think I can't handle the arena of strength sports and all this bollocks, then fuck them. It takes all sorts of people. Um, you know, I certainly didn't want to ruin anyone's day, which I think I possibly would have done if I'd stayed. So I think I did the right thing for me. Took myself away from the situation. I am competing too much. My coach tells me this. I know it deep down, but I guess because I'm old. I'm 51 in May. I feel like if I'm not competing now, it's not going to be long before I'm too old to compete, and then what the hell will I do? So yeah, so I keep plugging away. I've got a comp now in May, which I'm hoping to still do, but I don't think I'll be booking anything else in for the immediate future. Try and sort my head out. And to be honest, get a bit stronger, get a bit fitter, so that, constantly competing isn't going to necessarily make me more successful and get that elusive novice podium. Not allowing for, depending who turns up, but probably just a more dedicated training and not constantly being in comp prep would probably do it. Yeah. So here you go, bit of an overshare, but whatever. People don't like me, then that's on them. Bye.